What's up guys, CryptoSnake is here, and as you can see from the title, today I'll be talking about Bitcoin and its $400,000 price prediction by Greg Foss, a famous trader with 35 years of trading experience. Let's get started. Recently, Greg Foss shared his opinion on the Bitcoin trend and why he thinks that $400,000 price per Bitcoin is inevitable. Let's watch a part of his recent interview.
I wasn't a treasury trader as much as a credit trader, and that's where I like to apply my expertise. So I believe over the next couple of years, credit traders will appreciate Bitcoin for the instrument that I have studied it as, and that is as insurance against default of sovereign nations. Now, you'll say, well, why didn't it work this quarter? And I'll say there's a lot of stuff that went around in the markets, right? We had no idea what the leverage that was in the DeFi space, you know, the Celsiuses of the world, and the yield and staking that took place. So there was some, I'll call them macro events within the crypto ecosystem that certainly impacted our favorite digital asset. What I will say is this, in any ecosystem, when leverage gets excessive, you will see leverage unwinds. Well, that's what's happening within the traditional finance markets right now. Leverage is being reduced. Money is being taken out of the system. And when that happens, you see asset prices fall. In the crypto space in particular, I was very surprised. I don't know how you feel about it, but I was quite surprised with the co-integration, if you will, the counterparty risk that was present in the systems. It's incredible that this existed. That being said, look, you got to live and learn. You got to earn your battle scars. Hopefully people will learn that there's Bitcoin and then there's other digital assets. And Bitcoin is the only digital asset that solves the fiat Ponzi. As you eloquently put, you can't taper a Ponzi, but this was a confluence of events that caused Bitcoin to come down from highs. I think over the next 2 years, Max, to answer your question in 2 sentences, people on Wall Street will start understanding that Bitcoin is actually an insurance policy. And as an insurance policy, it actually possesses long volatility characteristics, which should be valuable in a risk-off world. It hasn't happened this last quarter, last half year. I'm disappointed with that. But at the end of the day, it means it's cheaper. It means a lot of people can get into it. It's extremely cheap. It was extremely cheap at 70,000. Well, now it's triply extremely cheap. It doesn't matter. Don't overthink this. Bitcoin is the best asymmetric trade we have ever seen in our lifetime. So I think of Bitcoin as being, as you said, the equivalent of a credit default swap on a basket of fiat currencies. Now, if we just took the top G20 countries around the world and we looked at their on-balance sheet obligations, so in the case of the USA, $30 trillion, and in the case of the USA, their off-balance sheet obligations, such as Medicare and Medicaid, of $160 trillion. To make the math easy, let's take that $200 trillion obligation. You can go to the credit default swap market that exists for sovereign nations, and you can look at what the rate is, the 5-year default rate on the United States, the rate that they're charging for default insurance. And that rate multiplied by the on-balance sheet and off-balance sheet obligations, the value of all of those countries added up according to the open market rates of the credit default swap spreads of the G20 countries puts the value of Bitcoin at over 400,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. That's the intrinsic value the way I see it. And as default spreads widen, because other credit spreads are widening, so there's a contagion effect that trickles all the way down to the countries, the intrinsic value of Bitcoin goes up, in my opinion. So all I know right now is it's, using my methodology, worth over 400,000 US. It's trading at 1/20th of that value. I'd say it's cheap. I'm not sure how other people look at it, but by that metric, I think it's awfully cheap. I don't overthink things. When I can buy something, it's equivalent of $1, I can buy $1 at a nickel, because that's basically what I'm seeing. I like to close my eyes and buy that insurance for a nickel.
As you can see, Greg's target for Bitcoin is $400,000 by 2024, which is 20x from the current price. I'm not an experienced trader, I do not trade at all, but I completely agree that credit traders will appreciate Bitcoin as an insurance tool. Wall Street people start understanding Bitcoin, and this is very, very bullish. With all the issues our world's economy is currently experiencing, there is no remedy other than Bitcoin. Inflation is skyrocketing, the euro is collapsing, we have a war in Ukraine that affects our oil and gas prices, we still have supply chain issues and food shortages, and the world's government do not know what to do. Because the world consists of people who have their own agendas. The governments keep printing money, and everyone who keeps money in the bank becomes poorer every single day. Bitcoin is here to help. This is the only ethical tool and the only digital commodity that belongs to everyone. It has limited supply and cannot be printed. One Bitcoin always equals one Bitcoin. Greg Foss's price of $400,000 per Bitcoin within the next 2 years is very conservative and reasonable. Bitcoin is here to stay, and patience will benefit you. Hodl strong, my friends. I'll catch you later.